It's on! That little boy is now 32 years old.
No.
Hard to believe we've been doing
14.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another. Yes, you're not 32 either. Dream on, Jeremiah. Welcome to another edition of Disney Park Talk Live. Today, coming to you on March 13th, 2023, the dreaded Monday, the 13th, which I think is far worse than Friday the 13th because it's the 13th and there's still four days of work to go. So, far worse. We are here to talk about the week in Disney and other theme parks. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place, co-host of the show, along with my lovely wife over there, Rebecca.
Hi.
My lovely Southern California and Star Wars reporter down there, Mike Celestino.
Stoic.
Frozen.
He's a deep thinker, this Mike Celestino. No, he's thinking. Okay,
Frozen on
and
my
our no, it's Frozen. I'm just playing. And the lovely influencer from the world of Roosevelt's. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Jeremiah, good.
What's up, Doobie? Shouldn't we be? Is the 13th of March just the precursor to the Ides of March? Is that when we start to worry?
What is the Ides of March? Seriously, I have no idea what the Ides of March is.
15th of March.
Why are you covering 15. Your face like that, hon? But what does it mean?
Read Julius Caesar.
Of the Ides of March?
Thank you.
Et tu, Brutai?
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are live. If you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to contribute to the chat, we always appreciate that. The show's always better when it's interactive. We are a very dumb, silly, fun show under normal circumstances, but today we are going to start with a little bit of seriousness, covering the death of Rolly Crump at the age of 93, Disney legend Rolly Crump. Rebecca, why don't you talk about this?
Okay.
Oh, don't act surprised.
I am.
Well,
Rolly Crump, a legendary Disney Imagineer, most deeply and affectionately connected with the gags and visuals that are creepy yet comical found in the Haunted Mansion. For me personally, it's the Tower of the Four Winds. I love kinetic sculpture, and Rolly Crump is the main individual responsible with kind of introducing me as a young person to the nature of kinetic art via the Tower of Four Winds, the Tiki Garden outside Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. We, as a fan community, were deeply blessed by his generous spirit of sharing his stories and his insights, and there's a collection of books available on Amazon. It's kind of a cute story. You can learn much more about his escapades and creations through these books, thanks to the work of Jeff. I want to say Heimbush, but I'm not 100% how to pronounce his family name. Lots of appreciation for his efforts in making sure that we have those stories. Jeremiah, I'm sure you have heard Rolly speak, so I don't know if you have anything to share about Rolly today.
Mine goes back to, Rolly was, when I was a kid, he was always the person that was blowing on the Tower of the Four Winds in the World's Fair special with Walt. And that was always something, like you, it reminded me of, that is the number one thing. Something that really jumped to my mind recently when I was doing some research about Knott's Berry Farm. Rolly was the person behind Knott's Berry Tales, which for me was the dark ride above anything at Disney. That one for me was just amazing. And then they continued it recently with the new version that bases off his original stuff. The one time I got to see him actually talk without being at, a NFFC or anything was at the Herb Ryman Brush with Disney event in 2001, where he just kind of stood up and he was supposed to talk to a group of us and just be in one spot. And he would get up and start pointing at things and walking away. And the handlers were all like, Rolly, you need to stay here. But that's how he always was. From everything I know, he was 93. He still rode a motorcycle, was still full of energy up until every time I ever heard anything about him, he was the great ball of energy and the kookiest, I think, of all the Imagineers. Like Rebecca said, the Haunted Mansion stuff, the Museum of the Weird is all his idea. I mean, there's that great story of them testing out illusions and stuff at Imagineering, where the custodial people said they weren't going to go in there anymore because they set it up so when they opened up the door, it triggered all the different special effects that they had been working on. And that's just, Rolly was always that type of guy.
I was lucky enough, like Rebecca, to have met Rolly Crump at least once, probably more. And what struck me about Rolly is if you've met any of these old time WDI Disney people, they are characters. Characters is an understatement for the type of people they are. And then Rolly Crump was a character among characters. He stood out even among them for the type of character he was. Not all of the stories can even be repeated here, but he was a very fun, memorable guy. And I mean, like I said, when you stand out in that group, you're something special. And honestly, that's what I remember more even so than his work.
Mike, I know you're a big Mansion fan. Did you have an opportunity to, kind of personally experience or be in his presence during, your efforts here and other sites?
No, I don't think I ever really got to see him in person or meet him, unfortunately. But yeah, as a big Disneyland fan and a fan of the Haunted Mansion and the Tiki Room and Small World, definitely an admirer of his work.
I love this picture of Rolly. This is from a website called Ears Up. Give them credit. This may be their picture.
He was.
This is Rolly Crump. If you've ever had a chance to meet Rolly, this is Rolly Crump.
Two things as we kind of wrap up here. He was heavily featured in the Haunted Mansion Behind the Attraction, as I recall, that you can find on Disney Plus. And the other thing I was going to say, as somebody who grew up in Southern California and kind of dreamed of being Gidget when I grew up, Rolly, when I met him, really reflected what I thought of when I thought of Southern California life. Mm-hmm. That kind of beach culture, that really thinking outside the box, thinking in a different way, rolling with whatever kind of came your way, and fully embracing and just an exuberance. And I'm incredibly thankful for the dinner that I was able to enjoy with him and some other Imagineers, thanks to author Carlene Thee. She invited Doobie and I to attend it, and it was an amazing evening, and I'm incredibly grateful for that and for the opportunity to have gotten to know him as a person and a personality. It's unexpected, and today's news punched me in the gut pretty hard. So I'm eager to move on to the frivolous.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the frivolous right now. Thank you, everyone in the chat. It really makes me happy to see how many of you guys got to meet Rolly Crump as well and the impact he had on you, either in person or just through his work. That's really special. So, okay, that's it, folks. We're going to move on to regular silliness and go to our top story in the realm of Disney theme parks. Going on today, Disney put out some new information on the Roundup. What is it? The Roundup Rodeo BBQ coming.
Don't ask me about that title. I messed up every time.
You're gonna mess up every time, no. So yeah, they actually put out a video where they shared some details of the menu. The idea that the food itself. Check this out. The food itself was created with the concept of the restaurant being cut out or taped together or glued together using things like pencils and sticks and cardboard. So keep that in mind. What you think might be a rib might actually be a number 2 pencil. So just be careful. They wanted to infuse that concept into both the food and the tabletop experience. And then they shared some details of the food, the Slinky Dog mac and cheese. Isn't that hilarious? Like a bunch of O's, so it's like Slinky Dog mac and cheese. Anyway, Jeremiah, I know you're probably going to be the first among us to experience this restaurant. Any thoughts here?
I cannot wait. Tomorrow starts the Tron media event, and on Wednesday we definitely get a sneak preview. We don't know if we're trying anything or if we're just going to get a look at it. I'm I know that I am definitely ready for this. I feel like it's been longer than Tron in the making, but
It has, hasn't it?
um, they started just before the pandemic, so yeah, it has been about the same time of okay, we're ready for this.
I feel like though, even as far back as Toy Story Land opening, we knew something. A restaurant was probably going in that spot, right? So
Have you
very
seen
exciting.
the Juby, have you had a chance to see the video yet that Disney Parks blog the Disney Parks blog site has shared?
The video that went with this,
Uh-huh.
I did
Here,
not. Should I
I have a
show it?
still. I have a quick still. Hang on. Look
Okay.
at that. Look at the depth. Like, I don't know. I'm torn between excitement and like not, because it's heavily layered with visuals. Even though they're simple, there's like just so many different, like, layer upon layer upon layer, because it's this place set idea. And I remember how much we all delighted in the Toy Story Mania queue when it first opened. How we were like, "This is so cool! It's like walking into Andy's room." And I feel like they're taking kind of that. It's like, and now you're dining in that, environment. So I'm excited. I'm interested to see how the music adds, or what other environment elements are layered here.
Yeah, it certainly looks like a different location than we're kind of used to. So it's going to be fun to check out. I'm excited to see. You said you get to try the food tomorrow, Jeremiah. Do you know if you get to see the location?
We're not sure if we're going to try the food. There will be a brief tour of the location. I don't know the extent of it, so I don't know what will come out of it. But if we can get photos and videos, we will have as many photos and videos of this as I can get. And then if I get to try any of the menu, I will fight the fakers.
Mike making a statement there. Lower that camera.
Sorry, I was looking for something.
If you do get to try the food, Jeremiah, you are recording some first taste, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah steals from Mac tries a thing.
All right, let's get over to the
I think
West
it should
Coast.
be Jeremiah samples something. See, Mac tries a thing and Jeremiah samples something.
No, Mac will take
Celestino
one bite.
eats.
Jeremiah will eat the entire thing.
I want to talk to Mike Celestino here. Let's set this up. Last week, the day after Disneyland After Dark Princess Night, we were happy to come on the air, show some pictures, show some video of Mike's experience, and we were interrupted by someone who thinks he has a right to come on the show anytime he wants to, which he does because he's the CEO, Ben Breitbart, who came on and basically said, no, this event was bad, it's overpriced, and I didn't like it. And so I'm like, A, that's not what I came on here to do. I wanted to talk positive about Princess Night. And B, what does he know? He doesn't do these things. He's like up in his tower. I want to talk to someone with boots on the ground. Mike Celestino, let's talk about Disneyland After Dark Princess Night 2023. How awesome was it?
I didn't hear about this story about Benji.
Oh, he was like a total seagull.
He was a seagull.
Wow, I like that.
They just
I
fly
like
and
that.
crap over everything.
Well done. I like that way of
Oh,
putting
well,
it.
So I was with Benji for this moment, and I think maybe it was emblematic of what he didn't care for about the event, because we spent probably 45 minutes, maybe, or more, waiting for this. I think I was looking for my guide map. I thought I had it here, but I can't find it. I think they called it the royal welcome with Princess Daisy and Princess Minnie. So we stood there in front of the Main Street Railroad station for a while waiting for this. And the thing was like literally maybe 20 seconds long. But yeah, it was. So I have this relationship with all the Disneyland After Dark events, I would say. I'm kind of baffled by their appeal, I think. But if you were super, super into the princesses, I think you would enjoy it. Listen, the problem to me is I tried putting myself in the mind of somebody who really wanted to go to this and get, meet all the characters, get all the photo ops and everything. And it's a 4-hour event. The line to meet Princess Leia was probably one of the buzzier elements of this whole thing in Tomorrowland. There's
Giselle.
Amy Adams.
Giselle.
No.
I believe it was Giselle.
So the line to meet Princess Leia was 3 hours long. They capped it about halfway through the event. So if you managed to get in that line, it would have eaten up almost the entire event for you. So you basically had the option to meet one character and then maybe go and do one other thing. You're just like, there's not enough time to get through even a small portion of the offerings that are there, which is really what baffles me about it, I think. Is that there are rare characters around, and the characters that are more familiar are wearing unique costumes, so it's cool to see that. As a reporter, I'm running around and finding, there's Pocahontas, there's Jasmine, and taking photos. But anybody who's wanting to wait in these lines to meet them, they're only going to get a couple of these characters. And I think
and yet,
about the
and
event.
Yet, I see such. Sorry, Mike.
On the Rivers of America on the YouTube channel, and then there was that cat. I just feel like I wish the crowds were managed better. If that makes sense.
Do you get a sense, because on Twitter, obviously, it is what it is, but I don't get the sense that people are extremely disappointed. It's just what they've come to expect for this event. Did you get a sense that people are disappointed?
I don't know. I don't get that sense. Like you said, I do think people know what to expect. As long as people know what to expect, here's Princess Leia arriving to her meet and greet in Tomorrowland. And I guess if you're paying, the ticket does cost $140, I think, close to that. But if you're paying that and you have in mind, I just want to go and meet these maybe one or two characters, or maybe three if you're really lucky, and that's worth it to you, then I think people are not leaving disappointed. But if you're expecting to do all this stuff that is advertised on the website and in the guide map, it's just not going to happen. I think, to me personally, I think just going to the park on a regular operating day is a much better value.
And as somebody who's a big fan of the princesses, I was following Skywalking Through Neverland. I was following Sarah and the various adventures that she was having throughout the night as well. And it seemed like, I don't know, for me, I was watching, I was thinking I'd have a good time doing this with a few of my gal pals. We, maybe we'd end up doing selfies with some of these people, like in the background or something, because character meet and greets aren't a big deal to me, but just the castle was beautiful.
Right.
And then they had a lot of like neat treats that I would have liked to have tried. And granted, I always have found it frustrating that a lot of times these events are kind of pay for the opportunity to pay more. But once again, there were some fun treats, and that welcome that frustrated our CEO was something that was offered like twice per hour. And they would, do the trumpet herald, and then Minnie and Daisy would come out at the train station and then head over to a photo op to the right of the railroad station there from what Skywalking was saying. So, It's one of those things where I think maybe Benji's expectations were a little off with that one, but the projections are gorgeous.
The projections are really neat. Yeah, they do transform the park in a way that you're never going to see outside of this kind of event, because it is specific to that theme. So for that reason, I think it is a unique way to experience the park. And like you said, if you're not invested in the character meets,
right there,
and the photo,
this is why you go. So I have not gone. I would love to go. I would pay $140 to go to this. Just for me, this is all about atmosphere. Yeah. As you said, seeing a park in a way you're never going to see it. And to me, the princesses, Giselle, that's a part of the atmosphere. I don't need to go up and meet them, but I'm walking by, and there's Pocahontas, and there's Princess Leia, who I hardly ever see, with R2-D2, and just being in that atmosphere. And I presume the music is filling it in too, and the regalness of the fact that they're princesses, like we saw the carriage going down, and even the classic characters being dressed that way. Being in a place I love so much anyway, but being dressed up for this theme, which I also love so much, I'm going to love that to death, even if I don't actually get my picture taken with anyone. And people that want to do it that way, that's totally fine. But I think for me, it's a value doing it my way, which is just walking around, enjoying a place I love, done in a completely different way. And that's where it hits for me.
Whereas Benji's going to come at it totally different, because Benji's going to look at the ticket price and the list of offerings and feel like this is the price point for these offerings, and if I can't enjoy those offerings, I'm frustrated by the,
and that's silly.
by the ticket price.
So, you can't go to every ride either.
Kind of customer.
No, see, and I'm completely with Benji, because I've watched these after hours start with the Villains Night from 7 years ago, where the parks had so many complaints they had to refund everybody because they closed lines for characters that you couldn't meet. And I went to the 90s night and the 80s night back before COVID. And yeah, there were some great things, but it's way too expensive. The capacity is too high for the price you're paying. Like $140 is not I'm just going to go do that. After hours here, where it's the $140 for 3 hours of attractions where you can walk on. Yeah, that's something I've said. If you only have 3 hours, that's a thing to do. Disneyland, because it's all locals, paying $140 to, I don't know how many characters Sarah actually met, but I know it wasn't that many.
It didn't seem to be that many. There were a lot of Instagram images of food. I didn't notice a lot of Instagram images with characters.
And the food offerings, it's great that they do it, but you're paying $140, like you said. You're paying money to try to pay more money. I'm not poo-pooing after hours events, but I am definitely saying that they are overpriced and they are not worth it.
And I haven't yet consumed Sarah's ultimate review. She has a video out of should you do it if they have it next year. And I haven't seen what her final verdict is on the event. She could have come out of it totally feeling the same way as Benji, and I don't even know.
All right. Well, I love that we have differing opinions on this. Seriously, I think that's fun, and I can't imagine that a large number of people that went to this didn't feel that they got their money's worth, and I'm sure there are more than a few who felt that they didn't. But so anyway, that is Disneyland After Dark, Princess Night 2023, one of the many After Dark events they do, which all seem to be kind of the same thing. Do some really cool atmosphere, have some cool live entertainment, and have far more characters than you can ever meet, just so people can complain about not getting to meet them all.
Star Wars is next in May, so
wait
for me to complain about that.
Yeah, nothing like a 5-hour wait for Mandalorian Grogu, who's walking through Batuu daily, where nobody's going up to them.
All right, I've got to share something, guys. This came from my son. Let's see. Can I do this? No, sorry. Go on without me for just a moment.
Leave him behind.
Did you guys see the new PhotoPass?
No, I didn't.
So I'll send it over to you, Rebecca. See if you can get this. This is one as I was scrolling through Instagram, I just saw it, and this is one that I will pay the money just for that.
Thank you to our viewer who got us that. I appreciate
Laughing
that
Place
very much.
shirts are needed. Can we start selling these at the next D23 Expo or for our booth?
I think we need to.
Especially that one.
Yeah, sorry. It's one of those things that a friend of mine used to say, because fan communities have a tendency to do that, right?
Absolutely.
We don't present an alternative. We just kind of bellyache about stuff. So she once described somebody as a seagull, and it stuck with me. So sorry.
All right. Okay. Jeremiah, you were talking Magic Shots, PhotoPass?
PhotoPass. I just sent Rebecca over the link for that.
Okay.
It is just at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's one of the Genie Plus lenses.
Send it to me personally.
Yes. Sorry.
It's okay.
Now I have 12 different ways to reach you.
No, it's good. It's good.
Incorrect
Give
one.
me a moment. Give me a moment.
But it is for Muppet Vision 3D, and I will say that this is probably this is a very unique opportunity to do.
Oh, Jeremiah, really?
Wait till you see it. I think you may agree on this. If not, I know your son will.
Oops. Okay. hang on. I gotta hit this button. Right? There we go. And this button.
Yeah.
And that button. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, my goodness. No way.
See?
Whoa.
Oh,
That's
the best
actually
way
a
ever.
Wait
good
for
one.
it. Wait.
Oh, it's for Pi Day.
Um,
Oh, Waldo.
Oh, no way.
Very unique, Doobie.
Shut
No,
up. No,
unique.
but it is unique. This is the best magic shot in history by far.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
This is a lens that is available. It says for select users to enjoy with the purchase of Genie Plus. Does that mean all users who purchase Genie Plus?
It's only available at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It starts
So that's why it
tomorrow,
says
and
that
then
way.
on the 15th, I believe, it's available.
Wait, so
More.
what is this? You take your own picture and apply this lens to it, or how does this work?
It's the Genie Plus lenses that you
Mhm.
take the selfies, and you can put Grogu
Okay.
on your shoulder and those. This is just the latest.
And then you can save it out as its own video?
Yes.
Oh,
Ta-da!
yes, 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 yes. I love
And
this.
as of, I think it was today, if you do want Genie Plus for Walt Disney World, let's see,
$29.
$29. So is that lens worth $29, Mister? I'd pay $140 for Atmosphere.
The reason the Genie Plus is $29 is the parks are packed. So yes, Genie Plus is worth $29 to me today, and I get
Genie
that
Plus
lens.
is actually still available today, which is surprising.
So Jeremiah, you've been in the parks today, right? Is this you at Magic Kingdom?
It was.
First, before you get to this, what are the crowds like?
They were not actually as bad as my photos make them look. I will throw that out there right away. I walked into Magic Kingdom. Main Street wasn't bad. The Deckardans were actually riding one of the Main Street vehicles, the cars, down Main Street singing, which you never see. So yeah, the park is pretty much a normal, Saturday during the busy season. Of course, it's Monday during spring break. But when I walked in, the picture I took and sent out to everybody was there was a 5-minute wait for the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse.
I know, I want to show that one now. All right, check that out. People waiting for the Robinson. Did you get in that line, Jeremiah?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
The rain was also hitting. And then right after that, I walked down, and the line for Aladdin's Magic Carpets was back to the exit of the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Jungle Cruise, I believe, had an 80-minute wait. But then as I continued on into Adventureland, Pirates was down and Big Thunder was down. So there was a reason for some of these lines.
Oh, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Splash Mountain was down?
Yes, Splash Mountain is down. I don't know when it's going to reopen at this pace. Yes, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is starting to definitely take shape. And Kyle, I agree. If Ethan wants to take my place, go for it, Kai. But yeah, they have the scaffolding up. There is some work. If you go down to the flume at the splashdown, you can see more of the work happening. They've removed the sign. Yeah, they have. There is that green splotch behind the curtain is actually one of the construction workers, and both sides of the flume are not barricaded, but they're blocked, and there's work happening that way. I don't know how long it is until we lose the point of Chickapin Hill, but it can't be that far from now.
That's going to be a big
what
deal.
I learned? Hey, Doobie, I had a recent visit to Disneyland. You know what I learned? It's very strange to have been a Disneyland regular AP for decades, and then be gone for a decade, and then be back on a rainy day and feel like a total newbie. I had no idea what to do. I was soaked to the bone. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I try to find somewhere to eat. I'm eating with rain falling on me because I can't find where to eat. I'm like, there must be some place to eat where I don't get wet. But nope, I was just
You're
drenched.
a newbie. You're a newbie again. It's
Well,
kind of
isn't
fun,
that the
isn't it?
normal version of Disneyland right now?
I should have
Everybody's
texted
drenched.
Mike C and been, Mike, help me. And I don't remember anything anymore. I don't know what to do. It's raining.
Well, my
Michael said-
go-to place to eat is gone. It's the Plaza Inn, so it's no longer.
Yeah.
Pizza Port.
Mike's going to say, don't eat bread. That's where they went, ultimately, right? Pizza Port?
We ultimately hit out at Pizza Port, yeah. By the way, for those of you who are just now joining us, we began today talking about Rolly.
Plaza Inn is what it is.
We are a light and frivolous show, so we kind of talked about that at the beginning and then transitioned into our usual silliness. So if you're here for more information and our thoughts on that, be sure to rewind and check it out at the beginning. Yes, Mr. Jeremiah.
Would you be light and he'd be frivolous?
Yeah.
I'll be peace. I'll be quiet. I'll be peace.
And by Plaza Inn, I meant the French Market, by the way.
Yes.
I wondered if that's what you were thinking, but I was just leaving it there.
I thought we had breaking news. Plaza Inn was closed. So we got another T-shirt here that Mike Celestino, this is from the mind of Mike Celestino. Moms love Soren. All right, over at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, we've got some news today on the food you're going to be able to enjoy just before you go on Tron Light Cycle Run, right, Jeremiah?
Yes. I was very excited. I'm a little disappointed. I feel that the place should have been just called Bits and Bites, but they don't listen to me.
What is it called? Energy Bites.
Bites. This food kiosk that I was having the hardest time placing where it's going to end up, and I think that it's actually going to end up at the entrance of the walkway. I enjoy that they're actually offering a little bit of breakfast. I don't know why they for a breakfast guest, here's donut holes. And then you can get coffee right across the way from Joffrey's. The food is very interesting. As our CEO put it, have it, or no, it wasn't our CEO, it was another friend. Make sure you have it within the first couple of weeks because it'll probably be hot dogs shortly thereafter.
That's the way it goes, often.
But they still have egg rolls over at Adventureland. How is this so different than a cheeseburger egg roll?
Because cheeseburger egg roll is, that's falling behind Dole Whip and churros now for the Instagram. Hey, I have to have this. When they have buffalo chicken dumplings, I don't know if that's going to be the kids really want this.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay. That's Energy Bites coming with Tron Light Cycle Run soon. Maybe you'll even get to taste some of that tomorrow, Jeremiah. You never know.
Yes, I'm hoping for that. That looks very interesting. I can't wait to experience all that. I don't know if not, I know what I'll be doing on the 4th of April.
Back over to the West Coast again, where Rebecca Mosley had the opportunity to travel all the way down. I loved Rebecca's travel schedule. She got back late Wednesday night from Florida. Then
midnight.
Midnight, literally midnight. And then went to sleep, got a few hours of sleep, woke up, and then Thursday around 6 o'clock had to travel down to Southern California to so that she could be there at Rope Drop the next day. And she was, and then traveled home that same night. She thought she was going to be home at midnight. Thankfully, her flight was postponed, and she got an earlier flight and got home much earlier. But
yeah, I lucked out.
This is a
Southwest
jet-setting woman.
rescheduled me. It was very nice. My flight was going to leave later and go through a connection from Anaheim to San Francisco, and instead I got booked direct and ended up getting home before my flight was going to leave. Woohoo!
So thank you, Southwest. So anyway, the reason you got to go down there, you wanted to check out what? Rebecca?
Engineer Souvenirs, the new shop that you will find at the exit of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It is a salute to miniature trains. It features a lot of nods to classic animated shorts with that same thematic, as well as typical gags that you might find within the zany cartoon world. Along the base of the floor, it looks like those wood tracks if you had a Brio train growing up, but instead of its circular connector, they're little Mickey Mouse head shaped connectors. And then along the walls are wood sets that look like if your Brio set had items from Toontown or the anime world. For example, there was one element that looked like the Barnstormer. There was another element that looked like Goofy's bounce house, or Mickey's house, things like that. So it's really, really cool. And Kyle, the connection was Vegas. They also, as part of the sales, hang on just a minute.
Okay, it's all yours. Oh, sorry.
At the in the shop is a table with where they have the remote control roadster that's currently on sale in the Engineer toy shop. It features Mickey and Minnie and Pluto as figures, and it looks like this. Look, he's so cute.
What does it sound like?
They're somewhat posable. They're somewhat posable, and it has various audio cues from the attraction.
Does the trunk open? No.
Yes.
Nothing can stop us now.
Could you hear that, guys?
Yes.
Is there a pie in the trunk?
And see, and then when the trunk opens, it has a space where you could put Pluto. He can sit back there with his little picnic basket. See, Pluto.
Well, I don't like that. Oh, he doesn't get entirely contained within the trunk. No, okay.
No. Just
there's a crack you can leave. There's a bucket of water that you can stick in there for him.
I would love Kyle. I'm sorry, Kyle. If you can get that with Mike Celestino, I don't like that. I want that. So,
but the audio cues, it not only has various sound drops from the attraction, but it also features the "Nothing Can Stop Us Now" song. It's randomized, so it's not like you can hear all however many sounds there are in order. That's one of the things I like when a toy has sounds, right? Because then you can cue it up to something and play a specific one if you want for a video. But they aren't that helpful with this. And the other item that wasn't on shelves, but I'm looking forward to bringing home at some point, is an actual train. See, there you go, with more figures.
That is cool.
Yeah, but that wasn't on shelves yet.
I got very excited about purchasing that on my next vacation, and then I realized, oh wait, it'll be here.
Yeah, that's what we were. That's what we were wondering, is if it'll be there. But yeah,
Engineer Souvenirs.
Nice addition.
You exit into this shop. It had some carpet up, so you couldn't see anything. But now it's available. You can walk in there from the outside or as you exit, and the rest of Toontown will join it in opening in just another week or so. Mike, what's that date again?
The 19th. I'll be there. I'll actually, I don't know. Can I say I'll be there on Saturday?
I mean, I love when you say, "Can I say?" and then you say,
"Yeah." I'll be there. I'll be there Saturday, but you can go on Sunday.
Rebecca, is that door the only exit
to the attraction?
Yeah, from the shop.
Yeah, that was the only door. But honestly, when the attraction initially, when we arrived, the attraction was down. And so it worked out really well because there was no guests exiting the attraction through. But even when the guests were exiting the attraction when I was there while it was running, it wasn't as bad as I would have thought based upon the visual. The traffic flow is actually pretty steady, and the way the store is designed, you kind of have a main thoroughfare and then kind of a cutout to one side and then kind of a cutout to the other. So that way the actual shopping zones are kind of on either side of that pathway. So it did okay, even with the rain, because we were all, wearing ponchos and umbrellas. So, everybody's that much larger. So it still didn't feel terribly, terribly cramped in the location. So I loved it. I like the little train going around the top. I tried to take, I can't wait for Jeremiah to go. Nothing personal, Mike C. But Jeremiah, he's tall. And so he can get a better angle. He can get a better angle on the train because I'm trying so hard.
I'm just going to walk along with the train with my phone. Just, look, here's the point of view.
I was trying so hard to get shots on it, and I'm just too short. No matter where I was, it was like the track was just wide enough to where it was really difficult to kind of, for me at my height, to get a good shot of it. And there's also all these little details all around around the shop as well. Various names dropped here and there. So I'm interested to see kind of over time as more and more guests see it and more people tweet or everything, kind of what little nuggets are discovered from the store. But Jeremiah, one of the things that I did notice is they have a train whistle and it says "Save for Willie." I'm assuming it's Steamboat Willie. But when I saw it, I wasn't sure if it was Steamboat Willie or the Giant, and I was thinking if you could like the Roosevelt Steamboat Willie shirt and then be a nice little photo up.
Oh, I'll have it.
So there you go.
Actually, I think me, Doobie, and our CEO should all wear our Steamboat Mickey shirts there at the same time and gather around.
Yep, and as Gio points out, there was a nod to Walt's birthday on the register. Lots of nice little nods here and there throughout the shop. Just a delightful location.
You're still muted, Doobie. You're still muted, Doobie.
Thank you for telling me. Anything else that sticks out in your mind about that day, Rebecca?
Frustration. It was raining, and my phone does not like the rain. And I'm not out in the field as much as Mike and Jeremiah, so I forget these things. So I got to the park half an hour, maybe 40 minutes before open, because I wanted to be sure that I got the rope drop message, because it's new for the D100, right? And it has a nice little, salute to Walt and a little homage of a history that we're currently celebrating. And I have my cell phone up and I'm stationed right by Partner's statue. I'm thinking I'm going to record the message. I'm going to have Partner's statue. I'm going to slowly pan over to the castle. It's going to be really nice. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, like maybe 10 or 15 seconds into it, raindrop bloop on my screen hits the stop button. So my phone stops recording. I'm like, not happy.
That is a tragic story, and most tragic because we're the ones missing out on that experience of what it's like when rope drop happens. So,
yeah, but I just forgot, because I don't, like I say, I'm not out as much, and I forget that I have to protect my phone from raindrops when I'm out in the field, because they will activate things. It caused all kinds of havoc for me trying to join. I kept interrupting. Poor Jeremiah was talking to you guys about something, and my phone kept triggering to jump me into the stream because a raindrop would hit, and I kept popping in and out. Oh, it's so frustrating. So yeah.
And you got to ride Runaway Railway at Disneyland for the first time.
That was awesome. I love that queue. Oh man, hearing Mousercise and seeing that, and then everybody getting so excited when they spot something, like a guy who was a little bit younger, obviously, than me, because when we came around, he got super excited seeing the Mouseketeer, and I'm like, oh wow, you are so young. But it was super super cool. And I got to see the Lonesome Ghost segment, and I couldn't believe that the photo op is still blocked off. There's nobody in queue. When we were doing it, it was like literal walk on for that first hour or so that we were, like Giddy says, we did it 3 times in a row. We just, kept kind of going back. Oh no, we could have done it 3 times in a row. We did it twice in a row and then waited. And I purchased a lightning lane later in the day because I wanted to see what the queue difference was like. And what happens is that portion of the standby queue that you miss, they have posters representing those elements. So like you miss the switchbacks in front of the Mouseketeer, and they have a Mickey Mouse Club poster and a couple of other posters from kind of those eras of Mickey's life that you miss by not going through those particular switchbacks. But a beautiful, beautiful job with the queue. Yeah. Oh man. And the ride itself is fun. Gideon thinks that maybe they made a change to Goofy, that the video of him is at the end. Remember how we were all kind of giggling, how he looks like he's looking way off to the wrong side, because Jeremiah, do you know all this yet?
Yeah, because the Mickey and Minnie.
I just don't want to spoil. I know you're going to Disneyland soon, so I don't want to spoil if you didn't know. But yeah, for the way the final sequence is, Mickey and Minnie's picnic is happening to your right, rather than in Florida it's to your left. And so Goofy kind of looked a bit odd depending. And Mike, as I recall, you said it looked kind of better in some seats than other seats as far as whether or
Yeah,
not.
if you get the right angle, he does look like he's looking at them because they are technically on his left when you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Gideon actually made a short.
But Gideon wondered, he was thinking that maybe it even looked like he was more like kind of straight ahead looking, not quite so much.
Gideon made a short yesterday. He noticed two changes. One, the Goofy you guys talked about, and then the flags that, so on the top we have the old, on the bottom we have the new, and you guys, you can have your own opinion as to if things have been changed.
Yeah.
What the heck, fingers? Told you nothing was gonna go wrong.
And it's one of those things where the flags were flipping around when we were riding, whereas previous footage we'd seen hadn't been. And I don't know if that's a matter of timing. That's one of the weird things about this attraction, is that some of the elements of the ride you can totally miss depending on which car you're in. You simply won't see it. Like this was the first we rode in a car this trip where I ended up seeing much more Pluto than I'd ever seen on my other ride throughs. So
the third car is usually the big Pluto story.
That's the one we were in.
Yeah, and then it changes as you go around. It's fun to watch it without even paying attention to the media. If you just pay attention to the cars, how the back car ends up being the front car when you pull into the station. And it's, this goes back to the old Winnie the Pooh attraction at Tokyo Disneyland, the first track list, where the dance of the vehicles is almost as entertaining as the ride itself.
And we ended up on one ride with only 3 cars instead of 4. And so it's really wild. Like all of a sudden it was like, whoa.
Car probably didn't make it on.
That's what I was wondering, but it was just, wow. It's like, okay, wait, did we lose it along the way, or did we not start with it? You're trying to remember, what it looked like when you left the station. So
when there were only 3 cars, was there one missing in the back when you started? And if so, was the front car missing at the end?
I don't recall, except for I remember in the Daisy, Dancing with Daisy, that the car behind us was missing.
I think in that case, it keeps the 3 as the front 3, because it is the ADA car, because that the disability car, if it doesn't make it on in time for if they're having difficulty loading, that it can hold back. But
so yeah.
Anyway.
But it feels much rougher to me at Disneyland. Gideon and I debated it, and I think the seat is narrower at Disneyland. I feel like it's harder for me to keep in my seat at Disneyland than in Walt Disney World. But so Jeremiah, I'm looking forward to your assessment, having experienced Walt Disney World many, many times.
Yes.
I want to know, am I right? Is there less room for my behind when I'm in the Runaway Railway?
I'm sure, because I believe that building is narrower than the current building, because those are essentially the same vehicles, the same size vehicles as the Great Movie Ride. So when they moved it over there, they may have made it smaller. But I will tell you in a little bit.
It felt a little bit like the homage to Jolly Trolley, where you used to try and keep your seat on that too.
Oh, that was fun. But I'm going to move on from Runaway Railway. We are going to move on to South by Southwest, where Josh DeMauro, the head of DPEP, Disney Parks and Experiences and Products, gave a presentation at South by Southwest on some of the innovations Imagineering's been working on. And the big one, I think, was this one, which we're going to watch together right now.
Southwest crowd. I say we give it a shot. She does. I got to say, she looks a little nervous here.
She's got it. Got this.
Okay.
Got this. All right. She's got this.
Okay.
Careful, Josh. You might want to stand.
Am I okay?
A little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Woo-wee.
So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the video of Judy coming out of the box.
Yes.
Mac.
Yeah.
That video is more impressive than that.
Right,
where
let me get that one for you.
Out.
Yeah. No, I think it's part of this video, but towards the beginning of it. But it's super
it's
cool.
a little bit earlier on.
blocks out.
If I
Blocks
had
out
been
the
there
box.
for that part where it crawls out of the box, I think I would have run from the audience screaming.
This really
That's right.
creeps you out, huh, Mike?
It's kind of scary, but I do like that we live in the dystopian future I was promised growing up.
Precision, repeatability, inhuman perfection.
Okay, wait.
Characters.
Is this supposed to be? Is this kind of what it? Is this happening?
Yeah, no, that's why she has a helmet on.
Look,
We're
okay.
good.
All
We're
right.
good. This is part of the
I'll
plan.
stay out of the
Yeah, our characters are all about personality, right? So can you imagine what it's like putting on roller skates for the very first time? It's awkward, it's clumsy, slightly terrifying, but ultimately it's exhilarating. Right?
Creepy.
A
But super
robot
exciting.
can stand up better on rollerblades than humans can.
But, okay, can I ask a real question, you guys? They talk about this bringing emotional connections. I think Mike C in our Slack said something like, "Yes, emotional as in nightmarish," or something along those lines.
Terror, sheer
Yeah,
terror.
but, can they make this adorable?
I think if
I
you're
have a hard
walking
time.
into a certain land not to be named in a certain park that may cause you to fly into a different country, and you're all of a sudden you see it's not officially Judy Hopps and it's not officially going to Shanghai Disneyland for Zootopia Land, but imagine walking in there and all of a sudden you just see Judy Hopps rollerblading down the street. How cool would that be? Not robot Judy, but Judy covered and looking like from the film.
Okay, so let me ask Jeremiah. You probably have met talking Mickey as opposed to pantomime Mickey.
There's a video of me crying about that. Yes.
And it deeply impacted you that way? Like that was much more emotional connection for you to talking Mickey?
No, so it was the kickoff of the 50th anniversary, and I had the video somewhere. I'd actually just met the former CEO, and then I walk into the back, and Mickey and Minnie are there, and as I walk up, Mickey just goes, "Hiya, pal," and I just lost it. Like, I've never had that emotion before, and they both hugged me because I started crying. So,
Aww.
yeah.
Have you met chatting Mickey, Mike C?
No, but they were testing the talking Mickey and Donald here at DCA for a little bit. And I watched them for a while. It was in the Explorer Trail thing at DCA.
How did they grab you?
I thought it was an interesting experiment. I was actually wondering why they stopped using them for the meet and greets. But I've been saying for a while that if they were to start, if Disneyland were to be built now, if it were to start now, you wouldn't start the characters with full body walk around costumes. You would make them to scale like Judy Hopps there, the size that the characters are supposed to be. And I think this is an interesting direction that we're going in.
I think it's inevitable, yeah. And I think the connection is made. I mean, Judy Hopps like that is kind of scary, but I agree with Jeremiah. Once you make her all fuzzy, I think it's going to work. I think it'll connect. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, speaking of to scale, I mean, have you seen the footage of our writer Alex meeting Tinkerbell to scale? I mean, it's like a little Tink. It's so awesome. I'm just, all of this is amazing to me, and I can't decide. I can't decide how it feels. Like, I found Mickey, talking Mickey that I met, like, I don't know, I didn't embrace him as much as the traditional Mickey I've seen over the years, and I don't know if it's like a kind of almost an uncanny valley for me, because it's like he's talking, but yet he's enormous, So I'm very curious to see kind of how things like this go, because the Muppets, I never look at the performer. I'm always looking at I have to remind myself, hey, this is an opportunity to look at the performer when I'm presented with it, because I'm so drawn to Kermit or Gonzo or whomever is in front of my face. But I'm not sure that these characters are the same for me yet.
Yeah, I agree with I could be wrong. I think this is a matter of this is what we know, and so that's what we expect. But I agree with Mike 100%. If they were building this today, as Kyle said, Woody and Jesse would not be 2 feet taller than all the people around them. They, especially if the technology allows for them to do it well. I think it's the future, and I'm okay with that. All right, let's move on to something probably the most important story of the week, I think, and that is Disney's next private island, which is Lighthouse Point. Got some details on that. Rebecca, have you checked out any of these pictures? Are you? Well, I'll read the quick details, but I'm curious of your opinion if you've had a chance to read about it. Coming in summer of 2024, it is on the island of Eleuthera in the Bahamas. And unlike Castaway Cay, which kind of is its own fictional paradise, this is going to be a celebration of Bahamian culture. It's being done in close collaboration with local artists and advisors, and it's designed with families in mind. And as they said, respect for the environment is at the heart of the design. And they talk about some of the sustainability and the solar power and such, and it's going to have family and kids and adult areas and such. But the big deal to me is the fact that it really seems to be focused on celebrating the Bahamian location where it is, as opposed to just using that as a location and then creating something, completely Disney and whimsical. And I'll show some of the concept art while I accept any of you guys' thoughts on Lighthouse Point coming in summer 2024.
Are they still using the Joe
No.
Rohde designs? No.
None of it. To me, the Joe Rohde design was very original. Like, it was kind of Disney storytelling. This, to me, and I've talked to people who have done lots of cruises with different companies, they're disappointed that they're not making it like the private islands for the other companies where it's very inclusive and lots of activities. This is kind of a step in that direction where it doesn't feel Disney to me.
Is it a step in that direction? That was the biggest surprise to me, was that this seems to be more of Castaway Cay, a different theme, but more of Castaway Cay, whereas when you look at stuff like Perfect Day at Parrot Cay, that Royal Caribbean has, they have created a full water park and resort. It's just you could spend, that could be your vacation, just being at Parrot Cay for a couple of days, and not just an afternoon at a port. And Disney does not seem to be going in that direction at all. And that kind of surprises me too, that that's not something they seem to be interested in.
But I feel like this is a step away from Castaway.
In what way?
Because it's not Disney storytelling. Yes, they're celebrating the Bohemian culture, but if you look at all the pictures, if you presented this to a non-Disney person that had no clue what you were talking about and said, where would you think this is? And go, is this a Disney island or is this a Princess Cruise, Virgin Atlantic, any of those? They would think it was not Disney at all.
I agree, and that to me that takes it even further away from, thank you, Gideon, Coco Cay, not Parrot Cay. Takes it even further away. I would have expected Disney to take an island and then just Disney it up completely, both in theme and in terms of fun, with a wave pool and they're not. It just seems to me more like, let's chill in the Bahamas.
It's a generic island.
Go ahead, hon.
What about Castaway Cay? If you just pulled out other than Mount Rushmore, what of Castaway Cay would you pull out and show somebody a picture and they would go, "Yep, that's Disney"?
Not a ton, but like the Mount Rushmore is an obvious example. Olaf's place there.
But I'm just looking at these pictures, and the cabanas look like the Castaway Cay cabanas, and the beach looks like the Castaway Cay beach. I'm just not getting where Jeremiah's concern is coming in.
To me, these buildings are very generic, where Castaway, like if you look at even, the barbecue, it looks like it is almost a deserted island theme. It has some type of theme, where this is, you look at this, that one water park thing looks almost to me like Knott's water park, where it's just, here's some tarps covering it. There's no, I just don't feel like there's a touch of Disney to this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not Yeah, I'm not having that. I'm not having that concern based on what I'm seeing. So.
But I'm curious, Rebecca, though. Are you happy? We've got Castaway Key, so and this is also in the Bahamas. So my guess is there's going to be a ton of ships, a ton of cruises that go to both. Are you happy with this, or would you rather have seen them go the perfect day route and really just do it up?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine to me. I don't need it to be. I don't need it to be a destination like what here Gio's saying, where it's like, oh, you almost wish it could be like a multi-day stop, kind of dynamic. I don't need that. I like that the Disney stop is. Because this isn't going to be in addition to, for most cruises, right? This is going to be, instead of Castaway Key, you'll go to Lighthouse Point, right?
You think so? We don't know. We don't have itineraries yet. Do
But
you think so,
that's
Jeremiah?
yeah.
I think they haven't said, and I do feel like, if you're taking the Eastern Caribbean, you'll go here. If you're taking the Western Caribbean, you go to Castaway. And yes, I'm excited to go check it out, and hopefully it's proven me wrong. But to me, I'd rather have Castaway because it feels like a Disney touch, where Joe Rohde's original design with the lighthouse, which is why it was called Lighthouse Point, had a feel of it where, these buildings are generic to me.
I just wanted to show, just for comparison, this is some concept art of a place that does now exist, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and where you can see
Wow,
that.
that looks just like Lighthouse Point.
Yeah, shut up. There we go. Thank you very much. And you can see, like, they have a balloon that goes up here. You can see some huge water slides. So it really is a water park. And to be fair, it's not free either. You pay to go to that water park when you're at Perfect Day. So.
Yeah, I don't need an island. I don't need a Disney island destination in that way. I'm perfectly fine with the notion of it being just an island paradise with a Disney flair. That's totally cool by me.
And if you guys are right, and I'm guessing you are, that for most cruises, this is one or the other. Because right now they'll do double dips to Castaway Key. So my thought is, well, they'll just do dip one to each. But if this is actually a separate destination, sometimes you go to Castaway Key, sometimes you go here. I would not want to lose the relaxing island destination. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, when they announced this, that's what my thought was this was just going to be the alternate Disney island destination when you take a Caribbean cruise.
Yeah.
But maybe
we won't know till next summer, or probably when they announce the itineraries for next year.
And when they do announce those, we highly recommend you book your cruise through Mouse Fan Travel, the official travel partner of The Laughing Place. Let's check out this video Jeremiah just sent me. I'm excited to see it. I can play this without checking it out first, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
For you tomorrow, we're going to be disclosing some first revealed information on Epcot, and also going to reveal the names of the 2 key attractions in Star Wars Land. So you've got that to look forward to tomorrow. So you're the first to hear that, but we're just glad you can be here and share the magic on the 90th birthday celebration.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Please, give me a moment.
Oh, wait, it's still going. Sorry.
No,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for coming. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that was our friend. He was, interviewing Bob, and I'm just in the background, and didn't even think about it. And all of a sudden, he sends me that video later on. I'm just like, oh, that's just finding that. I was like,
I love when Jeremiah cries. I don't know. It makes me. I mean, not in a bad way, in a good way. It's an interesting thought. What if after Lighthouse opens, they renovate Castaway Key and make it the Perfect Day style, since that's their own island. It's all theirs. It's not a shared spot.
Nope.
You don't know that, Jeremiah. You don't know that.
I will start a petition.
I will lay on that abandoned runway.
Yes.
You can handcuff yourself to the 20,000 League submarine under the.
Or I could handcuff myself to the Dumbo vehicle that I never knew existed until my last visit.
Handcuff yourself underwater. That is awesome, Mike.
Snorkeling. It'd be very long cuffs. I'd do that.
He'll have a reed like Robin Hood.
And then a seagull would fly over me.
All right, we've gone through a lot today, so I'm leaving a lot of stuff off. I do. There's one I want to show. Generally a low priority, but it's so cute. We're going to show it. Giant red panda. I believe that's his actual name. Right, red panda from Turning Red is going to Shanghai.
Her name, yes.
Her name, yes. Thank you very much.
And there goes our monetization of this video.
Worth it.
And if I had to choose one thing that came out of the pandemic was Turning Red failed in the States. Not anything else. It was just that. I'm kidding. But no, I wish that Turning Red had actually gotten a better reception. So that would be something we could look forward to.
That is Red Panda Mai going to Shanghai. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Geo. Let's see. Yeah, we've got eggs, we've got license plates, we've got Disney Wish stuff. Anything you want to say about the Disney Wish, Rebecca, before we close out today? Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about it, hopefully this coming Sunday.
I'm sorry. Try again. I got distracted for a moment. What were you asking me?
So we plan on this Sunday to do the first of who knows how many in-depth talks about our experience on the Disney Wish, our thoughts on it and such. But here, the first Parks Talk, where you're back after our first trip on the Disney Wish. Anything you wanted to say about it?
No, nothing other than I'm very excited to do so because the ship was everything I expected, and yet overall it hit me in a way I did not expect.
That's a
all
great
right.
tease.
That's intriguing. That
makes me want to watch.
I know. I think I'm going to watch too. Anything else, Jeremiah, Mike, you guys want to mention before we say goodbye today?
Who's the boss? Being Rebecca on Thursday at 1:00.
Really? How exciting. I'm having a hard time getting into this Mando. I don't think I can handle watching Mando by myself. I need Rebecca there to hold my hand through it. So it's complicated. So I will make sure I watch the next one with Rebecca. She can make sure I know what's going on. All right. Thanks for joining us today. Oh, Tony Betty, there you go. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. for our next LPTV Disney morning show. And tomorrow afternoon, Rebecca?
Yes.
Yes. Barely Necessities, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Rebecca
I have lots of toys to show.
All right. And so there will be no Becca tomorrow. There will be a Rebecca. And who's going to be your co-host?
I think it'll be you.
All right. I'm going to be on Barely Necessities. I can't wait. I may have to wear my Roosevelt tomorrow, Jeremiah. I think that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. Let's see what this is.
Hang on, I got a quick question.
Okay.
Mike, when are you getting a haircut, man? You're really going the mountain man right now.
Well, I'm going to be on stage at Star Wars Celebration, so I've been convinced that this might be the time to do it.
Please. Sorry, we're going to hang on for just a moment. We'll be back. See what else is going on. You said your Who's the Boss Live is at 1 p.m. on Thursday. And
I'm leaving for London in less than 3 weeks.
How excited are you for this, Mike? Star Wars Celebration London.
Super excited, very nervous about my panel, hoping I have guests.
Traveling first class, right?
I can't say that I am, but I'll get there.
Thank you, Gio, for the reminder. Yes, we will be doing Disney Trivia Live tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Our topics will be to be determined later and to be determined later. So, Gio, always love getting those emails from you. Becca, are you set?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That was not to you. That message was to the little person hanging out in the bottom corner.
Okay, so we are all done then. I'm sorry. I thought we were waiting for you to come back.
Sorry.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yep.